Podcast where we talk about all things real estate. And today I got my brother, Sergeant Major Trevlis Hunter. What's up, dog? How you doing?
How you doing? Good. Good.
So first and foremost, I want to say congratulations, my brother Trevlis Hunter. Let's unpack this history. I'm super excited to have this brother today because him and I have 16 years of history down. 17
Yep.
years. Wow. 17 years of history down at MCRD where he was a drill sergeant. Your left shoulder. Hums. So down there, we were down at MCRD training, and you've used your VA loan how many times?
5 times.
Five times.
Yep.
Wow. Let's unpack that, man. So tell us about your first property when you purchased it.
First property, I think I was a corporal or a sergeant in Temecula in 2004. No, 2005.
Okay, so 2005, they had llamas and stuff on the side of the road,
They
right?
did. No.
So people
They
were
did.
like, man, there's livestock out here.
And I didn't even know. I was like, what the hell is that? I didn't know what a llama was. A llama being, I didn't know what it was. But yeah.
That's crazy, man. So how long have you been in the Marine Corps?
24 years. This month was 24 years. Yep.
That's awesome, man. And then you got out here when?
What do you mean? When I got out of here the
In
second time?
California, yeah.
I got out here in California the first time in 2000. And then the second time I just came back in
2019. Are you going to retire in Cali?
I'm thinking about it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, all right.
It's nice. I got my last house. Purchased another home, and I love the house, and good place to settle down. California's nice, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in the Marine Corps and where the Marine Corps takes me.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. I want to unpack the 6 times using your VA entitlement. So the first property was out here in California, which is the high BAH rate, right? And then during that time, there was a market shift, so you did have a little dip in your property value, correct?
No,
You didn't?
Not the first time I didn't. The second home, it dipped. First time I bought, no, it was good. I made about $100K off the house when I sold it.
Wow. $100,000 the first time.
Yeah.
And what year was that?
That was 2005. I only had the house for about a year, a little bit over a year, and I sold it and made $100K off of it.
So you made $100,000 off of your first house, and then what made you?
Yeah, 100,000. Yeah.
So what was your second purchase? Where was that located?
The second purchase. So first was in Temecula. The second one was in Escondido.
Okay, so you moved to Escondido, so you had that property, and what year was that?
2008, 9.
Okay, so 2008 is kind of when it started to
That's when
do
it
a
did.
little bit of a dip, correct?
Yep.
So what did you do with that property? Did you end up selling it before you had the situation, or did you end up keeping it?
So thank you for bringing this up. Now I want to cry because because I did sell it. That's when I and it's something I'll say to everyone here. Just like investments, you got to ride the wave. And I didn't ride the wave for that second home. I sold it. I sold it for under the amount I purchased it for and lost. I look at that house now. That house is worth 2 times the amount that I purchased it for. So it's $700,000, over $700,000 for that house now. And I sold it for a little bit over $300,000, and I went under on the market with that. So if I would have rode the wave with it, rented it out, like I've done in my property since then, if I would have rented it out, I would have had no worries right now.
Oh man, let me let that breathe right quick. Okay, so you purchased the property, the market dipped a little bit, but you were in a 30-year fixed interest rate. So if you would have put tenants in that property now becomes a business.
Yep.
And at the end of the year, what can you do with a business that's not making money? Deduct it in your taxes, right?
Yes.
That's actually really good, but you gain experience through that process.
Exactly, I did. And so, yeah, like I said, it hurts thinking back on it, but now I know. And so that's what I've done since then. And I've always made money off my properties. Either I rent it or sell it, depending on what I want to do with it. If I know it's a good time to sell, then I'll sell. Otherwise, I hold on to it and I rent it, and it's not an issue at all. That I've learned.
Okay, so now now the first property, Temecula, the second property, Escondido. Where did you do your third purchase at?
Third one was Virginia. Third one was Virginia. That one I still own. Third one is Virginia. I still own that one. And then the fourth one was in North Carolina.
Okay.
And I sold that one.
So you went to Virginia. You still own one of the properties. So that is a pension. Can you talk about that property? Because I really want to unpack that one. What did you buy that property for? Do you remember?
That was for a little bit over $300,000. I bought that property for, and I honestly haven't checked to see how much it's worth, but I make $300 a month off that property. Just rent it out, and that easy.
Okay, so let's talk about this situation. And the reason why I wanted to ask that question and the reason why I wanted to show you the timeline is because if you have 5 properties, right, and if you break that down into 7-year increments, that's basically like a property every 7 years almost, right?
Yeah.
So if you look at that, 5 times utilizing the VA entitlement, 1 property subsidizing his income, he also has an investment property cash flowing $300 a month, right? So that property also gets the depreciation for 27 years. And then that property is basically passive income. You don't have to do anything to it, right?
No, nothing at all. And honestly, I'm just letting it grow. That's all I'm doing. Just looking at the market and just letting the property value grow. So although I'm making, $300 a month off of it, I know that's not a lot, but it's the point of understanding that the equity in that home is still growing.
I mean, well, $300 is like a promotion, right?
Pretty much, yeah. It is.
So it's good because also what you can do is rent typically doesn't go down. So you have that property that's the equity position is the biggest play because this is something that you can pass down to your kids, right?
Yep.
So having that portfolio, now you went to that third property. What made you sell that property in North Carolina? The next one was North Carolina, correct?
Yeah. Well, selling that property in North Carolina, I felt like it was time to sell that property. I know the area around was growing a little bit, but just for some reason I felt like, this property is not going to really grow that much in this area. So I just cut my losses in that. And also hurricanes and the weather. So I'm like, you know what, this house get destroyed. And then you have insurance and stuff, but it's probably best to go ahead and cut my losses with that house. So.
Now, let me tell y'all what just happened just now. See, this is how you know we keeping it a buck up in here. We just got the chicken wings delivered up here on the Sit Rep podcast. We drinking beer. We having pizza. And the pizza man just came in here and delivered the pizza so we can get some Scooby snacks, y'all. Keeping it real, man. So that's how we do in the Sit Rep podcast. I'm going to tell you, it's funny, man. The cool thing about this podcast is we always be having some cool-ass interruptions. But guess what? We used to it, and, we keeping it a buck here, man. So cheers to that. Cheers to the lemon pepper chicken wings we about to destroy after this podcast.
Finger licking.
All right. Yeah, man. Now, let's get back to the questioning for the North Carolina property. What made you decide to actually sell that property versus keep that one? You needed to free up your VA, correct?
That was a third property. I think third or fourth. I can't remember now. Anyway, that property, like I said, it was the purpose in getting rid of that property or selling that property was because of just the area. And like we talk about it, and like you talk about real estate, location is important. There was equity gain in that, but it wasn't moving fast enough. Looking at the weather, looking at how when I sold the year
Let's just keep it real, man. You didn't like it in North Carolina. You trying to make all these
I'm not
excuses.
coming back to it, but seriously, I wasn't going back to hell no. I like North Carolina.
What part of North Carolina?
It was in by Lejeune. What is that? What area?
New Bern.
No, New Bern. So the area is Jacksonville Commons. It's a really nice area. Schools. The location of it was good, but just North Carolina to me, it's good to purchase, but also that's like a forever home purchase right there, and that's not what I wanted. Honestly, I wasn't looking at that being a forever home. Wasn't looking at me moving back there. Simple as that. So I gained equity in the home and decided, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and sell it. If I would have kept it, hurricane, whatever name come out there and destroyed, then here we are.
And what's crazy about this is that so
chicken, man.
So I know. So Trevor and I, we've been knowing each other for so long, man. And then he actually saw what's crazy about this, and the reason why this podcast is so cool and I wanted him to come on is because he basically saw me build this company.
Yeah, I did.
Right? So from the ground up and basically educating service members on their VA entitlement, that had been a passion of mine. And when I was down at MCRD, I wanted to make sure that I had a microphone so I can continue to introduce myself to people who are introducing me to advocate for veterans. What advice would you give your first property hunter today? So if you're buying a property for the first time, what advice would you give service members that are looking to purchase through your eyeballs, right?
Click.
What would you give it? Yeah, that was a setup. Y'all missed that one. But what would you give people? What advice would you give young Marines seeking to look into real estate?
Yeah, there's a lot. So you say what advice? Like you think about a single thing, but there's a few things you need to think about. One, buy a house. You have BH. BH literally pays for your house. Why allow that BH to go into someone else's property, someone else's development, someone else's money, someone else's advancement into whatever? Use a BH, and it literally pays for your house. So why not? Obviously, you're gonna make sure your finances are straight, that you're managing your money. It's not about how much money you make; it's about what you do with the money that you make. And a lot of people don't think about that. Well, I don't have enough money. Well, the reason why you don't have enough money because you're not spending appropriately. You're not spending within your means. But your BAH covers damn near any purchase you want that would make you comfortable living within California. That's what it's for. Basic allowance for housing in that area. That's why the zip code is according to area code. Not zip code. Area code is according to where you live, and that's how much money you make according to the area code. No, it's zip code.
And that's good, man. And then also, let's talk about let's transition into you're married to a service member as well.
Yep.
Now let's talk about that process. Was it difficult? So just so you guys know, this brother right here was not here, and his queen, I wanted to acknowledge her. She is the one who Dawn was the one who transitioned us into getting the property, right?
Yes.
So tell us how that process was like, and was it stressful not being here?
It wasn't. I'll be working with you, brother. Honestly, man, it wasn't stressful. There was obviously some concerns, but the overall, when I think
he capping right now. Listen, he was stressing me the hell out. I was getting phone calls.
It was like this. That's business. It's business. It wasn't really stressful. There was some things we got to call and hey, follow up on and ask extra questions because people get fearful in what they don't know. And honestly, my wife, she did perfectly. Even though she didn't realize she was doing well, she did really good at it. I didn't have any issues in that aspect. But yeah, I'm gonna call, hey dog, hey, what's going on with this? Oh, that's what's up. And you have the answers. And I don't know, it was easy, man.
Now, back in the day, we did represent Trevor on selling his property. He made some money there. So this is the second purchase with us. I definitely want to say we really appreciate, for one, you being my friend. It's good to see you and your family blossoming. I really appreciate you you allowing us to represent you on your second purchase. Now, do you remember what you paid for the property?
This one?
Yes.
$607, and I know right now. Do you know how much it's worth right now?
$790.
Yep.
So
and that was November.
Yes. So y'all heard that right? It's from 607 to 790. And how long have you been in the property?
I think it was November. What is that? 4 months. 1 month. We're in January. 3 months. 3 months. Yeah.
3 months he's been living in the property, and he already has almost $200,000.
I'm selling right now. Nope. And see, that's just it. Don't sell. Ride it. And look at the market and ride it. Look at the market and ride it.
That's good advice, man. Well, I really appreciate you coming on the SitRep Podcast. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you click on the link and follow us on the SitRep Podcast where we talk about all things real estate. And guess what? You can get your lemon pepper wings here too.
I'm about to get hungry. I'm about to eat. I'm hungry.
God bless you, Hunter. God bless your family. Thank you for being my friend and Simplified brother. All right.